our pleasure to be here. This is a big deal for us.
What's the big fucking deal, bitch?
I'm kind of a big deal.
The boys, start it out!
Oh, I just started getting a clue.
Really?
Yeah, I'm totally getting a clue.
I'd like to thank all of you for being here, giving us your attention, and letting us have some fun by playing our music for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Dude, welcome to The Big Deal. This is the Clues first podcast show. We're here live at the Shogun Love Studios, Southfield, Michigan. For those who don't know, I am the Secluetary, the Cluemissioner's right-hand man.
In studio right here.
Yeah, and this is really a big deal for us. This actually should have been done about a year ago.
Yeah, we talked about it a while back, and it just never came together, but we are here now, and I think we are going to have a lot in store for you here.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of unknown things about the Clue. I mean, the Clue is shrouded in mystery. I mean,
even still to us, and that's we're gonna unravel a lot of that in our next few shows here.
Yeah, and there's a lot that we have to address personally because it's been around for 2 years now, and all that we've basically had are people asking us questions about different stuff, all the memes and really everything. So that's basically why we're here. We're going to address everything right from the beginning.
Yeah, I brought the Secluetary in a little while into the campaign here because I knew he would have very good input for us, and he is the one that allotted us the opportunity to do what we're doing right now. The whole hype around it's died down.
It got to a certain point where we were trying to spread it so hard, and then by the time it hit a certain point last year when we went to Dirt Fest, and we'll kind of touch on that, where that was basically the last big thing we did with the Clue. That was the last big news from the Clue we had, and that it's been almost a year. And then ever since that, we were kind of just chilling on the Clue every once in a while, posting some shit. But the main thing is,
so we're ready to bring it back.
Yeah, and we have to tell our side of the story, the right side of the story.
We were on our way to the Twisted Abominations tour second leg, and it was myself, one of my admins now known as Clucifer, another Clue aficionado known as Clustradamus.
Yep.
Hashtag baby sips. Well, Clucifer said, hey, obviously he knows I'm a big fan of Head P, and he was like, you guys ever heard of the Clue? I'm like, no, I have no idea what the Clue is, and he shows me this video, and it blew my mind. I was in complete disbelief that it was actually Jared. I was trying to zoom in on it and be like, that's not him.
Right.
Come on, no. Yeah. And then it sunk in that it was actually Jared with the spandex and the eye makeup and the spin moves and those dance moves.
Dude. Legendary.
So we get to the venue, and on my crew usually we like to show up a few hours early and celebrate. We're there to have a good time.
Yeah.
But my whole goal once we got there was to show everyone I could that video before we went inside.
Yeah.
So that everyone would know. Because I didn't even know I was spreading chlamydia yet, but I was, because it was just my goal that day to tell everybody that this happened.
You see something that awesome, and you're just like, and you're there for that reason, and you have to do it.
I think like most of us, I didn't even know how to take it at first. It was so shocking.
Yeah, it's like you just have to see this shit. I don't know what to think.
Not to mention after trying to show everyone I possibly could this video, we head inside to see the show, and before Head P even got on stage, another one of the admins to the page now, we call him the Toledo Heckler. Actually, Jared gave him that name at a show later on, the Toledo Heckler. But he asked him outside. He was outside by the people smoking, and he said, "What's up with the Clue?" And that was met immediately with hatred and just anger. he snapped back like,
Yeah.
you don't understand. You don't know what you're talking about. It was the 80s. You know, most of you weren't even born yet. I was just doing what I had to get pussy. And we're like, whoa, dude.
Easy. We asking a question here, Chief.
Just want to know what's up with the clue.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, we realized that he had something against the clue. He didn't want us to know about it.
Yeah.
And the Clucifer had kind of told me that because he explained how if it were to get on YouTube or Wikipedia, he would have it removed.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you can tell Wikipedia that's not me. Yeah. That never happened. I'm that person. That never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
But it did happen. And now I think it's been accepted now because we've kind of put it out there.
Yeah, and we could. You can tell that too because it was shortly after that. That's like right after that show. You came up to me and you were like, "Okay, you know about Head PE, right?" I'm like, "Of course I know Head PE." Like, you know. And then you show me this video, and I was just like you, just shocked, and I'm like, "Is that seriously him?" And I'm just watching this, and I'm like, "Holy shit, man!" And it makes sense because I'm like, you know. You don't know what these musicians are up to, especially the ones that have been for such a around
We're
for such a
talking
long
about
time.
a guy that's in his 50s. You know, this is 30 years ago.
And the smoking gun was the video itself because it said live in Tempe, 1988. Well, according to his Wikipedia page, he was saying that he was like 30, and I'm like, okay, bro, you weren't 12 spinning.
Yeah, we all knew that. He's for some reason afraid of his age. I think he should embrace it because the man's in amazing shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I look like that when I'm 50 and all the stuff he's been through, I would be pretty glad with myself.
I'll be honest with you, and that was one thing I was really impressed with, not only just watching the video, being a singer. You can't spin around like that and be able to.
Yeah, because
sing
he belts
properly.
it out.
Yeah, and it doesn't even sound like he's winded when he does it. So that's what's really impressive about the whole thing when I saw it, and I thought it was hilarious when we started throwing out like clue names.
So he anyway at that show he became a good sport about it for a second. He apologized to my buddy and bought him a drink at the bar. I don't know if this was after they performed or before. Because obviously it was, you know, I'm at a concert, things got a little crazy.
Yeah.
But when they were on stage, we decided we're gonna go up front and chant "Play the Clue."
Yeah.
And he took major offense to that. I could tell he was not happy with us. He wanted out of there.
Yeah.
He was uncomfortable.
Hold on a second.
And you know, whatever. He played a great show. I know he saw me rocking it out. And then after the show, the drummer came up to me in the crowd. He found me and was like, man, look, you almost had me falling off of my seat laughing. Nobody ever calls him out about that, and he absolutely hates it. And that was another point where I was like, well, wait a minute. Why is he so hostile about this? For later on, the drummer has not been so friendly with us. He you know, obviously he's got to take sides with his lead singer, even though he saw the humor in it at one point.
He probably just doesn't want to get kicked out of the band. Let's be honest here. Oh, man, you can't be a lunatic and be in Head PE at the same time. It's crazy because as soon as we started seeing this and it started generating heat after that show, that's when it really blew up. And you know, you said you were going to start a Facebook page.
Well, it actually was quite a while between that show and when I started the page. I think it was almost 6 months even before I was just like, you know what? Let's start a Facebook for this. I like it enough because at first when I listened to it, it was almost like a joke.
Yeah.
But then after I heard it, I realized I kind of like this.
Yeah, it's kind of funky, and that was another thing too. It's you don't know anything about it. It was so secretive, and he kept it hidden. And then the question was asked, "Well, what's up with the clue?" I mean, I can guarantee from where I'm at now that if he had answered your boy with, "Oh, dude, that was just some 80s shit I did," and you know that was what
he should have brushed it off as if it was nothing. Been like, you know, it was this band I was in the 80s.
That was what was in at the time, and You
Yeah,
know?
that's what he could have said. That was
And-
cool back then.
Yeah.
Okay?
If he had
Like,
answered it like that, we wouldn't be here right now
no,
talking about
not
it.
at all. If he wouldn't have came back with, fuck you,
He doesn't like me.
Yeah, when you get a taste
that kind of mentality.
Yeah, when you get a taste of something and you know it's good, and your only source of that taste doesn't want to say anything about it, you're gonna get some curious motherfuckers, and that's what happened.
Yeah, as soon as I started to tell people about it, they wanted to know more and more. And when the page started, it just it took off from there. And we
Yeah.
we thought it wasn't gonna be like this, but it really exploded.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into how the chlamydia was spread. We're gonna play this is one of the underrated songs of The Clue. A personal favorite of mine. I like it though.
It's a classic. There's not a whole lot more you can say.
Yeah, give it up. It's a Clue. I'm Falling. We'll be right back. This is The Big Deal, live from Shotgun Love Studios in Southfield. I'm falling. I swear it doesn't get any better than that with the clue. We're back at the Shogun Love Studios. Beautiful Southfield, Michigan.
I'm falling for the clue.
Oh my God. So we're talking about how, the Cluemissioner showed me this page. I'm dying. We got these videos that are just absolutely classic. And we just started sharing this with everybody. Everybody had to see it. And it was really funny. I was laying in bed one time. My ex at the time, we were just laying there and dead silent. I ain't saying shit. And I just start laughing my ass off. And she looks at me like I'm a psycho. And she's like, what is wrong? And I'm like, I can't stop thinking about the fucking clue. And I'm like, I didn't even know about this band a week ago. And now I can't stop thinking about it. I was like, I got a disease. I have chlamydia. And I fucking lost it. And that's when I brought
the term right there.
Yeah, I brought it to the Cluemissioner. I was like, chlamydia. And we knew right away. We were like, that's how we spread awareness. And that's what we started doing. We started sharing it on our Facebook.
It's a social disease.
Yeah. And I mean, I got boys that I came up to, in general, be like, hey, you listen to Head P, check this shit out. And that's basically how we really started going.
Whether you do or you don't, I'm showing you the clue.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you might hate the clue. You might love the clue. You might think the clue is awesome, or you might just hate Jared and just want to bash on him.
Or
for
you might
his shit.
think it sucks. You know what? Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
But if your opinion is the clue sucks, I don't value your opinion.
Yeah. If you ain't cluing, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. So we actually got a lot of help.
Well, yeah. What happened that really made it take off? As funny as it is it was Jared. We only had a couple hundred people following the page.
Thanks, guy.
And then all of a sudden, he posts this rant on Head PE's Facebook that got a ton of attention.
Yeah.
Immediately got just swarmed with attention. And in this rant, he made this something it wasn't in the beginning. He personally attacked us and called us, I don't have the original picture of it, but lazy, jobless virgins was in there.
Pussies.
He made straight attacks at us.
Your cliche insults to people you don't know.
All because we started a Facebook page for a band he used to be in.
Right.
It doesn't make, I'm still not quite understanding where all the hostility came from.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to find out. Anyway, he deleted this rant. I don't even think it was a few hours later because of all the attention it got. And the page just blew up. We went from a couple hundred likes to nearly 1,000 in hours.
It was ridiculous. There was 2 times where we got a major push in our
and
likes.
This was the first one. This really blew it up. It took it from nothing to a big deal.
Yeah, and which is why we're here. It's our pleasure to be here. And that was a huge thing too, because like I said, we had maybe 100 or 200 likes, and then
it was about 200, I believe.
He opens up his Facebook and just goes on one of his epic, every 2 or 3 week rants.
He does
and
like to rant. If you've ever been to one of his shows, he likes to rant.
Yeah, and you'll find that out in a bit.
Which we don't mind.
Yeah. It was perfectly fine. In fact, he drew probably at least 200 to 300 to 400 likes to our page just from people who liked Head PE's page, and he didn't necessarily mention us.
I don't know if he even said the clue, but he did say something about a band I used to be in, and then people commented on it.
A word of mouth. People have been talking about the clue. It's kind of getting around, and then people tell people. I mean, especially when you've got a rant like that.
So the next day, he messages me personally because somehow found out that I was the one running the page. And I'm not going to bore you with the whole message. He made a few good points and whatever, but he took little jabs at me. Like he said, it's almost like you wanting to interview me about an ex-girlfriend. I don't know if you've ever had a girlfriend.
Like I said, we all have ex-girlfriends and we all have ex-boyfriends, but you don't look back at your entire relationship with them and say the whole thing was a pile of shit. You may think they're a pile of shit, and that's perfectly fine, but I can look back and say, hey, you know what, at the time in my life, that was fine.
You may think it was a waste of time. You may whatever, but there's something you can take from it
Everything that you've done in the past leads you to where you are now, and you should never take any of that for granted.
He then kind of took a little jab at my intelligence, I guess.
Yeah.
And some people aren't lightheartedly joking with me about the clue. There are people that just want to try to degrade me and call me a faggot and invalidate what I am. And I think you can understand that. ... I think.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Seriously, get over yourself. That's, like I said, it's just a very pompous way to go about it. And,
we took offense to that. That's when I went from being someone who was just about the clue to almost a malicious attitude about it, where I called it World War Clue.
Yep. we had to form the Clue World Order, which came to be the Cluemitty. And that was kind of important, because up until that, it was kind of like a lighthearted joke. And, we had kind of liked the clue. And once he kind of took that stance, it was like, well, all right, bro, if the spandex is off,
Yeah, we're
off.
dropping the guitars, and we're gonna throw a couple blows back and forth. So we got a little mean about it. And I probably should mention right now, the Cluemitty, all of my admins on the page and myself, most of us are or were big Hed P fans. Personally, I'm a huge Hed P fan.
Yeah, I dig them.
I loved them back in '97. I think I started listening to Hed P, 98 maybe. And it didn't change. The clue didn't change the way I look at Hed P at all.
Yeah.
And that's how I think he kind of took it. But most of us, all of us, were at least fans at some point, and none of us have any malicious intent except for one, the person who showed me the video in the first place. He said his goal was to see Jared cry.
Yeah.
But other than that, none of us really meant any harm by this whole thing. We were really trying to be lighthearted and just find out about something we liked.
This was like going back to what I said earlier. You get a little taste of something and you don't really, give them what they want. People are going to start getting curious, and they're going to start digging, and we're going to start blowing this up. Well, when we found these videos, we were keeping an eye on the YouTube channel. I remember there was this kid that said, "Oh, this is crazy. This is my dad's band." And we lost it. We were like, I remember the Cluemissioner was like, "Who's your dad?" Yada, yada. And he never really got back with us. But I had a feeling, and I think we all had a feeling, that we were getting closer to something. Because mind you, we've known about this for a long time now. We haven't had anything but these 3 videos and Jared's level of butthurt.
He's trying to fuck up my livelihood.
So we really had nothing to go off of except for these 3 videos. And
Well, that changed very quickly after his rant and the page blew up. It was only, I believe it was only 2 days after that. A guy named Scott got a hold of me, and he sent me the audio from a vinyl of the clue.
Yeah.
2 new tracks that we hadn't heard yet.
And he said, "I can't tell you how I got this. I can't really explain where this came from, but I can send you the audio." And I lost it. And I know the Cluemissioner said, "We want to set this up. We want to release them at different times." And I was super excited to hear this.
It was huge.
Yeah.
We had only had the 3 videos, the 3 songs. It was all we had to go off of, and then all of a sudden, there's new music available to us. I didn't know that would ever happen.
Yeah,
and it just did.
Because you got to remember, Jared ran his Wikipedia page. If you go to his Wikipedia page now, it says he's most known as lead singer of Hed PE and The Clue. So he hasn't really touched it.
It never used to say that. He would have it removed every time it was on there.
Exactly. So you go to Google, which, I mean, what can't you find on Google? You can find 25-pound ass plugs on Google. You can't find shit about The Clue. And so, we were really troubled. And mind you, when all this started happening and Jared started blowing up, well, then you get these online bloggers who start posting things. Metal Sucks. Hey, check out Jared from Hed PE's old band. Well, anytime anything would be posted like this, Cluemissioner would be all over it. He'd go to the website and actually comment and be like, "Play the Clue." Facebook/Play the Clue.
I got banned from Facebook a couple times because I was spamming everybody with the Clue.
Yeah.
Basically, I was just, how you used to be able to stalk people on Facebook. It would tell every time someone up in the top corner, so-and-so liked this, so-and-so commented this. Well, I would just click on every single one and say play the clue.
And you're just not finding anything. And we've had these vinyls, and it's these vinyl tracks, and it's really cool and all.
It was great because right after we got those vinyl tracks, another thing kind of helped us blow up a little bit. Fago Lovers mentioned us in their podcast.
Yeah.
And they have a pretty solid following, and they definitely helped us get a little more recognition. But then
I fucking struck gold, Clunatics. I mean, I can't even. I'm searching Google, nothing on the clue. I'm just typing in shit like Tempe, Arizona.
I love this part.
I love this part. I love this part.
So I go onto eBay, and I'm on eBay looking for the clue. Like, yeah, fucking right. So I type in the clue because I just don't know what else to search for, and I search
enough.
and there it is. Lo and behold, radio video on vinyl for $7, and I instantly buy it. And I like freaked out.
Oh, yeah,
and
we're buying that right now.
Right now. And I bought it, and then I messaged the seller, and I was like, what do you know about this band? And he probably was like, what the hell is this guy's deal? Because I was like kind of wigging out through message.
You're really freaking out about some shit from 30 years ago that nobody knows about?
I'm like, where did you get this from? Do you know anybody that's in the band? How long have you had it? And he's like, bro, I'm just trying to get rid of some of
I just got this record here.
I just got this
it's
fucking
some
thing.
promo shit from a radio station.
Yeah, seriously. So I bought it. I got it. As soon as I got the vinyl, I was I was so happy, and I was like, there's a lot of heat drawn to the clue page. So I was like, you'll never believe this. And I posted a picture holding the Stay the Night With Me side.
And that was a monumental moment in the history of the clue. I mean, it changed the whole landscape forever. It was something that I never thought would happen.
July 25th, 2013 was the day I received it, and I took a picture. And the very first comment on the picture was from a guy named Kevin Comstock. And he said, I'd like to know how you got it, because I was in the band, and I don't even have one. Actually, that was recorded a couple years before I joined the band. Now, this vinyl was from 1984. The videos were from 1988. And I instantly lost it. And the Cluemissioner said, he got it on eBay. Go figure. Who were you? And
turned out this was their keyboard player in the later part of the band.
He said a lot of the information you have about the clue is actually not true. And he's like, I'm not really into bashing Jared. I can't blame him for wanting to not look in the past. So I have a feeling, we kind of had a feeling like Kevin knows. I mean, he was right there at the end of the clue. These guys probably know what we don't and why Jared is so hostile. But that was huge. Kevin, he liked the page. He even, an hour and a half ago, he liked one of our pictures about, play the clue like a t-shirt. And that was really it for us. That's when we were like, holy crap, we know somebody else that's in the clue. And we instantly went to our about and changed the keyboard player, Kevin Comstock, to validate it.
Well, literally, we didn't know anything about this because we had no one to give us information. Jared was not going to help us out, and the internet only had so much to tell us.
Yeah, and that's when everything started taking off.
It was great because that's when the Clunatics really showed a ton of support. They started sending us memes all the time and just sharing everything and just trying to blow the page, trying to help us blow up the page.
And they had a lot of love for the clue. And it was literally a couple of days after Kevin Comstock messaged us that we got another comment from our dude Sergio. Sergio, of course, is the guitar player with the pink pants from the classic videos. And Sergio, I just got to go on record and say, this guy is the real MVP when it comes to the clue. He's got so much pride in his past and what he did. You can kind of tell he was the leader of the clue. I mean, I've got nothing but love for Sergio, and I actually really dig his guitar playing.
Sergio has been... I don't have words for how much he's supported us and helped us out. Another person I also want to mention, the 2013 Gathering of the Juggalos. This is right around the time we're talking about right now. Colin Joe Hauser, I believe is how you pronounce her name. I've since met her in person. She performed as the Clue in the Miss Juggalette contest at the 2013 Gathering of the Juggalos, and that was an inspiration.
Yeah, because this was still pretty fresh. She just comes out there and starts repping the Clue. So people
She's
are
in
like,
costume, just jamming out on stage. And people in the crowd are like, what the fuck is this girl? And then you can hear very lightly, if you watch the video of it, play the Clue in the background. Because there were people there that knew what she was doing.
Yeah, exactly. And she was cluing. That's what she was doing.
That's what we should all be doing.
No, you want me to play the Clue, a band I was in the 80s.
And it was fantastic because, she really kind of brought that to the gathering. That she was probably our biggest representative, and she's not even part of the Clueomity. She was just doing it for love of the Clue, and that next year from 2013 after the gathering until just before the Gathering of the Juggalos 2014 was filled with Sergio just showing us mad love, dropping tracks for us, and like, hey, I'm gonna send you guys some Clue songs.
Yeah, right after the 2013 Gathering, he sent us new music. He says we got 2 new tracks again.
Yeah,
and he told us, just wait, I have more.
Yep.
And then come October, we get 3 more.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know what to do with ourselves at that point. I was like, now we have like a whole album.
Yeah, because like at first it was we don't even know the name of the song, but Delete Till I'm Feeling Fine.
We still don't know the name of
Yeah, we don't even know what the fucking song is called. But
there's been lots of speculation about what that song is called.
Yeah.
But we're not going to put a name on it till we actually know the name.
But then we had Lady DJ and, of course, The Game of Love.
Which we lost for quite a while because Jared got it pulled off YouTube and no one had it on their hard drives or anything.
Mm-hmm. But luckily, I actually found Joel Samuel, the guy who produced the videos on YouTube, and I messaged him and I asked him if there was any more Clue footage he had. He informed me those were the only 3 videos he had, but
he was upset that Jared had tried to pull copyright. He said, no one has a copyright on this. I filmed this. I produced this.
Yeah.
He cannot do that.
It was
and
Joel
put
Samuel.
it right back up.
Yeah, it was Joel Samuel Presents, not Jared of the Clue Presents. I understand, like, you may have
I don't
written
think he
the
even
lyrics.
called himself Jared back then, to be honest.
Paul Gomes.
Yeah.
That's
what it said on the vinyl.
It doesn't matter what your name is. Perfect. But that was the thing. Joel was really pissed, and then we actually got the videos back up. So I made sure as soon as the videos were back up, I burned them.
downloaded them on my hard drive immediately. I was like, we're never losing this again. This is in the vaults of the Clue.
So Sergio hooked it up with these like cool like photoshopped cassette tapes, and the first one he hooked us up with was Shotgun Love and the studio version of Game of Love, and both of those songs. The Game of Love for the long time was a really favorite of mine, but Shotgun Love, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, dude, they're all over it. Like the guitar solo, the singing. I feel it's like one of Jared and the band's best recorded performances. I still think it's
best display of their talent.
Yeah, Sergio was hooking us up with all sorts of stuff.
He hooked us up with pictures, old, pictures from the 80s, black and white,
like even stuff from their band after the Clue, Hotbox.
Yeah, Hotbox,
which we'll get into another time. It was a cool time that year because that's when our audience was growing. It felt like every week we were getting at least 20 to 30 likes. People were spreading Cluemedia like never before, and it was a really fun year from the Gathering of the Juggalos 13. Up until the Gathering of the Juggalos in 2014.
We'll get into that here in a minute, but we want to play my favorite track
from
the Clue. The energy in this, the video or the song itself is just amazing.
Enjoy the Lady DJ.
Turn on your radio and listen for your favorite voice. Oh yeah, 'cause when it comes to playing music, Lady DJ is the people's choice. I hear the people say, Lady DJ, that's the music play. Lady DJ, you take my breath away. Everybody's magic hands. Do you know what I mean? So turn your radio on, turn it up, and let the ladies jam. You heard the boys, turn it up, lady DJ. Let the music play, lady DJ. You take my love away. Everybody's dancing till the morning comes. And all the children, lady DJ is the number one.
I'm telling you, the children know who fucking number one is. Lady DJ. Live from the Shotgun Love Studios in Southfield. It's the big deal. Secluetary, Cluemissioner. Dude, this is freaking awesome. Basically, I obviously was not going to the gathering, but I was really stoked because Cluemissioner told me that...
/ annoyed because I wouldn't shut up about it for the whole week before.
It's all good.
Anybody that's listening that has been to the gathering understands what I'm talking about. You just get so excited the week before that no one wants to be around you that isn't going because you just won't shut up about it.
Well, it's like going on vacation with thousands of your friends. So, I mean, how can you not be stoked
Not to
about
mention a vacation with concerts and at some times in the past, lawlessness.
But I was stoked because they had a Legends of Wrestling pay-per-view that he told me about, and that's why I was stoked.
Watch,
yeah, so I was actually stoked, and it was cool because it was delayed. The wrestling couldn't start until main stage ended. So I actually got to listen to ABK's set live from the gathering, which is pretty cool. And then you kind of rolled into the Legends thing later. But that was what I was really looking forward to because I wouldn't be able to be there.
I, on the other hand, was looking forward to the first night. Head PE being the closing band of the first night at 3:30 in the morning. I knew that was going to be something special. So myself and my girlfriend at the time fabricated a costume, mostly her work, honestly, fabricated a Clue costume for me.
The classic spandex striped action.
It turned out really well, and when I showed up there in costume, it blew people's minds. Everyone that knew about the Clue was like, "Holy shit!" and everyone that didn't know about the Clue was like, "Who the fuck is that?" Let me tell you a little story here. This is for everyone who didn't attend or who doesn't know about what happened. Maybe we'll clarify some things here for people who think they know what happened.
Yeah, because it really blew up, and it was covered by places like websites and blog posts.
Nashville media. There was a lot of places where like,
what the hell just happened?
This isn't something that happens every day.
Yes.
I mean, I've talked to people that have been going to concerts for 50, 60 years and have never seen this happen.
Yeah, and I guess because of the setting, it kind of made sense.
We go to the gathering, and we wanted Jared to know that the Clunatics were in full effect. We really wanted to show him that this is a movement and it's not going anywhere. We handed out flyers. We had signs. We had giant 3-foot signs that said CLUE and other signs that said play the Clue or ask me about my Clue. Or I was in full costume as Jared. Actually, as the Cluemissioner, because it says that on my back.
Yeah.
Head P's about to hit the stage, and we have to grab Southwest Cluedo is in his tent. He's a little busy at the time.
Yep.
We had to stop him from his,
He's playing somebody the Clue.
he was playing his now longtime girlfriend the Clue, and we had to literally stop him and pull him out of his tent because he couldn't miss the Clue. He was going to be the guy with the megaphone. He had no idea what he was in for with that megaphone. So, we go over to second stage where they're playing at 3:30 in the morning. And there's a big crowd there. Yeah, obviously, Juggalos love Head P. We've been a huge part of their fan base, I feel like. Anytime I go to Head P shows, there's a lot of Juggalos. So, we're chanting "Play the Clue" and all this before the curtain even opens up, and we heard a faint "fuck you" from the back. That shit, we knew it was about to be something special. So they come out. Jared's covered in he's all covered up. He was all bandanaed up and wearing a trench coat. And we clear the mosh pit, and everybody's shining flashlights on me. I'm busting out his old dance moves. We got everybody going, chanting "Play the Clue." We got the signs going, and he is visibly upset, which turned out, honestly, to be a good thing, I think, for his set. They played one of the hardest sets. I mean, he was just angry. You could feel his anger in the crowd.
Yeah. Luckily, it's on YouTube. You can check it out if you have not seen it. Gathering of the Juggalos, Head PE, 2014.
It's in 4 parts, but you can go look it up. Luckily, one of our big fans videoed the whole thing and put it up. It was something special. So not even 2 minutes into the show, he stops the show. He
right after that first song.
They didn't even get through the song.
Oh,
he was in the chorus of the song and just said,
Hold on a second.
And that's when all hell broke loose.
Hey, dude, you want to suck my dick? Is that your problem? No, you want me to play the Clue, a band I was in the 80s. This is not the Clue, you fat little faggot. You're mad because you don't get any pussy.
This is where he jumps off of the stage into the crowd. And you can listen for yourself and judge it for yourself. But for those of us that were there, it was absolutely shocking. We couldn't believe that this guy jumped into a crowd full of juggalos and assaulted one.
So that whole part, he disappeared. He jumped off set, tried swinging on Southwest, kind of missed him, and from what I hear, it was just kind of a melee where people just started falling all over each other.
Yeah, this is a common misconception. Everyone, when we got back from the gathering, everyone's like, "Oh, Jared beat some dude's ass in the crowd that was heckling him," and it was like, no, he landed a half-ass punch because it was really hectic, and then the whole crowd swarmed them, and security got him out of there.
Yeah. So they did go really hard, and it is really a really cool set. But then...
No, if you watch the set, you will see how upset he is and how much it fed into the energy of the set.
The problem that I think I have with it was some of the comments that he made during the show.
Why don't you just hold up a sign that says nigger, nigger, nigger?
As pissed off as he, I guess in his perspective, was rightfully allowed to be pissed off. He was saying a lot of shit that contradicts a lot of things he does normally during his shows.
Don't try and confuse what a motherfucker dresses like for how hard that motherfucker is.
Yeah, I've literally heard him tell us, the fans, to throw people out of the venue because they were wearing skinny jeans.
I mean, Southwest Clue was holding a sign. He came back holding a sign that said, ask me about my clue.
Yes, it said, ask me about my clue. It's
and
exactly
then
what it
this
said.
happened, and he just melts down again.
What's up with the sign, faggot?
So that absolutely is just uncalled for.
Yeah, I don't understand where that came from, but it is what it is. He was in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, that was really intense. So I knew Head was closing out that first night.
In the crowd, actually, some of the more hardcore Head PE fans were not happy with what we were doing.
Oh, clearly. Yeah.
But the next morning, it took a more lighthearted approach. The secretary was able to get a hold of me, unlike if it were at Cave and Rock.
It was pretty intense. I basically said, "How was the Head show?" And I could tell he was still recovering from overnight activities, and was like, basically Southwest Clue got jumped. He freaked out, and I swear to you, within, I'd say the rest of that weekend, we got at least 400 likes.
See, I don't internet when I'm at the gathering, so I had no idea that this was. It blew it up all over again. It was all over the media. It was. We went from 800 likes to 1,400 likes again. It just blew up overnight because it was in the news. It was a big deal again.
Yeah, it really was. And that's another thing that caught up to Jared is that next day he went on Facebook and he posted, "I was being threatened, so I had to defend myself." And
if this were a proper venue, security would have took him out before the show even started.
He dropped the mic, jumped into the crowd, and swung on somebody in self-defense. I mean, he's coming right for us.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like self-defense to me.
Yeah.
But he did. He had to cover his tracks. I'm sure his record label and whoever the hell was not very happy about it.
Well, no, I mean, you got to consider you are at the gathering of the Juggalos. However,
no matter where you are, that's not acceptable behavior to jump off.
Everybody
stage.
is a critic. That is, we're in America. You can go to a Head PE show and chant "Play the Clue." That does not give somebody the right to jump out, run at you, and swing on you. It's like, bro, why were you in the Clue then? Get over it.
You're mad because you don't get any pussy.
And it was intense. Like the Cluemissioner said, he doesn't really Facebook a whole lot when he's at the gathering. I basically was running that page all week because everybody else was at the gathering, and I'm just watching these likes flood in, and I'm getting a bunch of DMs. People hitting us up through messages, posting on our wall. We're like, this is huge, and the Cluemissioner gets this great idea, and the gathering of the Juggalos, there's tons of festivities, and he took advantage.
Yeah, there's always something going on, and we wake up the next day. I'm still in my Clue outfit. I'm just ready to go. I wanted to go run around the whole gathering and tell everyone what happened, but I didn't have to because everyone already heard about it. It spread pretty quickly. Well, we walked down to second stage where it all went down, and the first thing going on that morning was the costume contest. And I'm like, well, I'm in a costume.
Yeah.
Why don't I get in on this?
Well, I mean, this is great because somebody was actually recording the costume contest, and it was fantastic. Like, this is basically a mashup of everything that happened.
I basically had the idea to reenact what had happened last night, but as the Cluemissioner, as Jared, so to speak, from The Clue. I went up on stage. I was a little I was a little nervous because it was more excitement, actually. I'd say I was super excited.
Yeah.
It was my first time on stage as the Cluemissioner. I was pumped. I was so pumped that I was getting to do this. A couple of my friends were also in the contest, so we were gonna, we had a plan to kind of team up a little bit, but apparently I didn't need it. After I walked off stage, I noticed that a couple of the judges were conferring. Later found out that one of them was showing another one the video of what had happened last night. And I kind of reenacted it, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
People lost it when that happened.
It was fantastic. I mean, you could just tell the crowd was loving it. They're laughing their ass off. He kind of jumped off stage and attacked his buddy, and it's cool that you won a prize, but the biggest prize you won was chlamydia.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
they call us all up on stage at the end, and everyone's like, "We know you won, dude."
Right.
And but that was the best part of it, was that anyone who was there that didn't know about it, now they knew about it.
Yep, absolutely. And it only got better from there because there was about a month or two off once you got back, and we saw how much damage this had really done, not only to Jared personally, but how much it helped the Clue. And
he was so mad that about a week later he went on Twitter and said went at us at Play the Clue. I think you're all pathetic. And all of your followers are pathetic as well. Grow up and move on with your life, which was responded to with multiple people saying, "Play the Clue."
No, you want me to play the Clue, a band I was in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Like, once again, and then somebody was like, wait, who's Play the Clue? Let me go to that Twitter and start following it at Play the Clue.
Yeah.
And you
all
can
of a
also
sudden-
follow us on Instagram where the Clue. It's 2015.
Well, now that we're really getting it back in gear, we're gonna be all over. We want this to go to the wall, to the maximum here.
Jared is one of those guys. He's always going to kind of have a meltdown. But I think Gathering of the Juggalos 2014 was the final stamp of how extreme he would get about the whole situation. And
This is not the Clue, you fat little faggot.
I feel like it was a turning point. That can't happen. You have to control.
You have to compose yourself a lot better. Listen, this was something that you were a part of. This is not something that people are making up about you. It's a part of your past, so you're going to have to deal with it. And however,
Ever since then, he has been much more receptive to us.
that's what it comes down to. The Clue is great. The Clue has done not one negative thing for me in my life so far, ever since I've known about the Clue.
So, after the Gathering, things were obviously crazy. Everyone got back into it. Memes galore.
More
tons
songs.
of attention. Even more music.
Superman came out, and that was like, whew, I needed a hero, And it's just,
I can't even.
so no more than 2 months after the Gathering of the Juggalos, my boy Matt Dalton, he is total bro hammer. He is basically the coordinator for Dirt Fest, which is easily, I think it's the biggest metal show.
Maybe not the biggest, but the best metal show.
Now that supposedly Mayhem
Michigan.
Festival is toast. I heard they toasted Mayhem, but
Mayhem was garbage this year anyway.
yeah, exactly. Well, except for King Diamond and Thy Art. But the thing is I've always loved Dirt Fest. My boys Beast in the Field play it for a long ass time. Absolutely slayed it as always.
Of course, my boy's Psycho Stick.
Yeah. Yep. No Life. Now they're
Moose.
Heartsick. We all got some guys that play the show. Well, sure enough, Head PE's playing. So I'm telling Cluemission, I'm like, dude.
Naturally, we have to go.
Yes.
This is going down.
And we kind of thought, well, okay, obviously the Cluemissioner is going to dress up like he did at the Gathering. And we thought, well, this is going to be, we might catch some heat because here we are dressing up for a heavy metal show. Turns out we were just what the doctor ordered. We fit right in.
I feel like we were kind of like a lot of people's highlight. I stuck out everywhere I went. We were on Banana 101.5 Flint. We were on their website.
shout out to them. That was huge. Just checking it out on the website and seeing that, it's like they're an awesome radio station.
We got a lot of play out of that as well. And my main goal there was I had heard that Head P's doing a meet and greet.
Yeah, for free, like just straight up.
Just walk up and meet him. So why not costume it up? Go say what's up to Jared face to face while it's still fresh in his mind.
Yeah, he didn't even show up to the meet and greet because he knew you were there.
Yeah, one of the band members, when we got up there, said, you know you're the reason he's not here right now, right?
Which is ridiculous if you think about it, because one friggin' guy is going to keep you from meeting people who probably haven't met you before. And it's like, you are the leader of Head PE, and you're not going to show up.
You're taking away from your band and your fan base just because I'm there.
Yeah. So we're kind of hanging out, and it's about 15 minutes after the meet and greet. We're hanging out near that area, and I'm I'm looking at the Cluemissioner, and my eyes just widen, and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Behind you." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like,
I turn around,
Jared,
and there he is,
standing there about maybe 10 feet behind him, and I'm like,
"This
it's
is our
do or
shot.
die.
Let's get him."
Yeah, this is it. This is it. We gotta approach this head on. And you know what? I think we did a good thing.
That's where we mended the fences, I think. Really.
Yeah, this is basically where it stopped being all about Jared's anger and all this other BS. And we approached him, and you were like, check it out. You're just like,
yeah,
check it out.
Look at me.
You're like dancing a little.
I told him like it is. I came to him straight with, I'm a big fan of Head P. I always have been. I'm not trying to drag you down. I'm not trying to degrade you.
Yeah.
I like the Clue.
He's trying to fuck up my livelihood.
I love
tell.
the Clue.
Yeah.
It's very much. I was a big fan.
You could tell he was not thrilled.
No,
clearly.
he didn't want to talk to me by any means. He was fairly short with me.
Yeah.
But
he gave
he was good enough to take a picture with me and banter a little bit.
Shook our hands like he was. He said. This
was big. This was big.
Yeah.
What he said right here.
And you were like, I'm a huge fan of yours, and he's like, I can tell, and you're like, dude, I love the Clue. He's like, come on, man, you got to play the Clue, and he's like,
I asked him if he would ever play the Clue, and he said,
he's like, no, man. He's like, I mean, you do it better than I do, man. He's like, that's not me anymore. I got a son to feed, and you can kind of tell he's trying to walk away and get away from us, but he wasn't. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't
straight up dismiss us, and he didn't get aggressive.
This is not the Clue, you fat little faggot.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of his coming to terms. And we posted a picture on Instagram that you can check out, the Clue.
And that's where his wife had said, show respect, and that's what you get back. And
exactly.
He had voiced to me. Obviously, the gathering was still fresh on his mind because it just happened. He said, it's just, that's not cool having people interrupt my shows and whatnot.
He's not just trying to make jokes and shit. He doesn't like me.
And I can respect that.
Yeah,
and I think that's when we really were like, all right,
this
it is what it is.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to do with the Clue.
And I think for the longest time, that was the mission, was to get Jared to play the Clue. I think that's been on the minds of all Clunatics. But I think we have to just come to the terms with, he is the kind of person that is not going to do this. But, the best...
In his original message to me, he said, you will never hear me play that shit.
Yeah.
Those were his words.
Or ever do an interview or talk
about it. I have
it.
no interest in interviewing about it. I don't,
So, but the thing was, it was actually really funny because a few days after Dirt Fest, we're getting over this. Somebody, I can't even remember what happened, but somebody was like, you have to check out Head PE's Facebook page. And we were like, okay. Well, they were promoting their new, was it a new album?
Yeah, Revolution. Yeah.
And it was it said, it was Revolution, and it said available at Best Buy. And it was a
picture
panoramic view from the stage. at Dirtfest, and me and the Cluemissioner.
I'm in the middle of the mosh pit, just gleaming, and I have this
like almost
perfect look on my face, like they were waiting for me to pose for the picture.
It's like there's a sea of black T-shirts, and then you can see the blue pinstripe. My little ass standing next to you, just smiling. It was almost like too good to be true. We were on their
I couldn't
banner.
believe I was part of their promo picture.
It was, and it was just. I think that was really the final straw, and that's when we realized, like,
We are the Clue.
the Clue is us. Like we
The Clue is all of us. The Clue is you. The
Yeah.
Clue, every one of you listening is a part of this.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Like this is a huge deal. And after Dirtfest, it was sweet. You know, like we said, we found out we were on Bananas radio station, their website. So you know that once again we draw more people to the Clue page. Even got even more likes. So
And anytime, you know, it goes back to the old saying: any press is good press.
yeah, there's no such thing as bad exposure. If somebody's talking crap about you, they're bringing light to your name. If somebody loves you, more people are going to love it too, and they're going to know about it. And that's what I've always liked about the Clues. It always seems like, at least every week, even though like it's kind of
Even when we're completely stagnant and there's nothing being posted and whatever, there's still the likes still trickle in because people find out about it.
Yeah, and they still know.
It's something that I think every group of people can relate to and can dig. And not all of our fans, not all of you actually like the Clue.
Yes.
Or Head P for that matter. Some people are haters, and that's fine. You know, if you hate it, hate it.
yeah.
And if our exploration of it helps you hate it, good for you.
Yep. It's been an awesome ride. The first 2 years have been sweet. We can't thank you guys enough for like bringing basically everything to where it is now.
I went to a Head PE show locally here a few months ago. Full costume once again.
Naturally, no other way to go.
Yeah, I don't think I can go to Head PE again without wearing my costume. I drew tons of attention. But now more people know about it. It wasn't people coming up asking me, but it was. I still had to show a bunch of people the video. I still had to explain what this costume was. And like I said, it was more the lighthearted way. Jared actually shouted me out on stage in a joking manner. He said, "Shout out to the Cluemissioner. Real men play the tambourine." Because at the time he was doing his little reggae thing. And again, that was another great show. And I found my way backstage afterwards. I started helping their roadies move their equipment off the stage for some reason. I don't know. I was drunk. It was a lot of fun, though. I was trying to get an interview with Jared. I went to the bus, and they said he has no interest in talking to you. And I hung out backstage for a while, had a good time. I went out on stage with Alien Ant Farm for a second.
Kind of reinforced why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, because even people in the crowd that I was just showing the video to for the first time were like, "That's amazing. I gotta check this stuff out when I get home."
Yeah.
At that point, it was from a more positive light where I'm just like showing them this. I'm like, "I love this. You have to love it too.
Yeah.
If you don't, oh well." But
I'm still going to show it to you.
I'm going to show it to you no matter what.
Yeah. We've addressed a lot, and I'm actually really glad that we finally got around to doing this. Luckily, we just have the ability to do this. I can't say how, but this has definitely been a huge thing. We've got a major announcement that we want to kind of bring to light.
This show here is something that's been in the making for so long that we basically had to spend this whole show catching you up on what's happened with the Clue, with the history of it for the people that don't know it.
Yeah.
Maybe clarifying things for a few people.
This should have
But
been.
we have a lot bigger things than just us bullshitting about it in store.
Yeah, I mean, this has been in the works for a year. It's taken so long to get everything the way we need it to get. Trust me when I say it's absolutely going to be worth the wait. What we're about to tell you.
The Clue is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
This is about to be a big deal.
This is going to be a very big big deal. And you know what? Before we give you the little taste of the next episode, enjoy the Superman. Recent Clue song given to us by our dude Sergio here at the Shotgun Love
Superman at home
studio in Southfield, Michigan. Secluetary, Cluemissioner. This is the big deal. Episode 1. It's our pleasure to be here. We really hope that this has brought to light everything you guys never knew about the Clue. Maybe some of you did know about this if you're truly on the inside, but the majority of you guys never knew the story. And this is what the whole show is about. In summation, what we were trying to accomplish here.
Well, I mean, the fact that people are learning things, we are still learning things.
Yeah.
I started this whole thing, and I have these people that have my back, and we are still in the dark about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even Kevin Comstock said there's a lot of stuff on your page that is actually untrue, and it only comes from not knowing anything about the Clue. I mean, we only know 3 of the members' names, and we know that there were tons of members of the Clue, but we don't know anything about them.
So, basically, with our show and with the page here, our main goal is to let everyone know this is a thing, and everyone that digs it know that it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started this, it was kind of used as like a harmless joke to kind of laugh at Jared.
Yeah, we were very lighthearted. Oh,
Yeah.
ha ha, Jared hates this. It's hilarious.
Then he kind of freaked out on us and insulted us and got all butthurt for literally zero reason because he couldn't laugh at himself, unlike the rest of the fucking world.
And that took us to a dark place. It did. It took us to where we were trying to take personal jabs at him as well.
Yeah.
It's only fair to, swing back.
It was like you said, it was like this malicious controversy where it was like, him versus the Clue, and it was kind of negative. And then as it evolved and it really blew up at Around the Gathering, it started becoming more about the Clue. We started getting more music. Sergio had our back. He started sending us pictures.
And now since then, it's to the point where Jared isn't even a part of this anymore. He wants nothing to do with it.
Which is fine.
And yeah, I mean, if he wants nothing to do with it, we can't force him into it. All right.
Yeah.
But we can. The Clue can live on without him.
Absolutely.
He's not the Clue.
No, he is not the Clue. And then we've come to notice that. Like, that's something that I really appreciate about having Sergio around for, is the fact that
and all of you, because without all of the Clunatics, this would not even be a reality.
Yeah.
I'm glad that so many people share the love or hate.
Yeah, that's
for this.
right. No doubt, because it's just, but it was hard there for a while. But the great thing is the Clue came up on top as always. Just like Lady DJ, the Clue's fucking number one. And I can't even tell you how many times I've been to a party where the music's just bringing me down. But I always kind of remind myself, I know a lady that can turn that party around. And,
way to quote the song.
Thanks. I just
Perfect.
those have been the two strongest support systems for the Clue, is Sergio and the Clunatics. And we can't tell you how much love we have for you. And just to let you know that this is a big deal now. And the Clue, not only is there going to be a resurgence, but we're going to take it to levels that we never thought were possible. And that can only come with you guys continuing.
Yeah, the continued support. We need everybody to, tell your friends.
Yeah,
tell your mom.
Spread the freaking
call your mom.
Call your mom. Spread Clumidia like never before.
Like you spread them butt cheeks.
Yeah, you have to go in hard, and you got to spread Clumidia. Tell your friends to like the page, share the page on them, because I truly and most honestly mean this. If you guys keep doing this, we are going to take the Clue to the highest peak. And I can't say what that is, but you have to believe in your
big things are in the works.
Yeah, very big things are in the works. So as a special treat for all the love and support that you guys have shown us the last 2 years, we haven't named the episode yet because we haven't fucking done it. Like, we haven't even edited this fucking thing yet. So as part of our second episode, it's going to be, I'd say, Rise of the Clunatics.
Yeah, this one's more. This next episode's going to be geared toward the fans. We want everyone to voice. We want to hear your voices.
Yeah, I mean, so many great memes have been created on the page about the Clue, and a lot of them
just ideas that people sent us have been gold.
Yeah, so we're gonna show love. We're gonna have you guys call in and be a part of the second episode, and it's gonna be really special. You're gonna let us
go ahead and message the page.
Yeah, just tell us how the Clue makes you feel, what your favorite song is, anything you want to talk about to us. Message us at the Clue, facebook.com/playtheclue.
We're gonna give a ton of people the number to call in next week, because next episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely, when we set the date for the next episode, we will message you guys. We'll give you the phone number, and I'll personally be in constant contact with you guys. So I'll let you guys know when you need to call in, and it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun, and, there's going to be a lot of perks, actually. We're in the talks of...
I want to take some random calls, too, if we can manage to do that somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can try to do as much as we can. Like I said, we're gonna have some perks for you guys. We're in the talks of getting some Clue merch out there, and we want to
have some contests. We really want to.
We want to hook you guys up
to the next level.
Yeah, we want to hook you guys up. You guys have been so supportive. We want to give a little bit back to you, and that's basically been the entire purpose of this whole show, is to let you guys know that we absolutely couldn't have done this without you. So we want to give a little bit back. The next episode, Rise of the Clunatics. I don't know. There's much more we can say,
Well,
dude.
Once again, I want to remind everyone to check out Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. View and share all the old videos. The Clue, my personal favorite, Clue Blackout 1988. Look that one up.
Yep.
It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out.
So like we said, as always, Play the fucking Clue. Share the page, facebook.com/Play the Clue. I'm the Secluetary.
This is the Cluemissioner.
We're live. Not really. From Shogun Love Studios.
Shotgun Love!
In Southfield. Beautiful, pristine Southfield, Michigan. This is the big deal. All right, we did it. Woohoo!
That was the clue, everybody.